When is the best time to buy real estate? I get that question multiple times every single year. And what I want to tell you is something that some people are going to agree with and others will have their own opinion. It's very interesting when somebody asks you a question and they don't like the answer to it, they're very quick to give you their opinion. Well, and that makes total sense. But all I can tell you is this. I've been selling real estate in the greater Ocean City area for now 23 years, and almost 23 years. And I can tell you that there are the norms to the market, but then over the years, we've also seen these little interruptions and or changes and or economic factors that come into play that will dictate a time that may be better than others to make a purchase at the beach. Same thing holds true with selling. I get sellers say, when is the best time to sell? When is the market the most active? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of speak in generalities to what a normal seasonal market could look like. And then I'm going to put in a little bit of insights as to why now might be the absolute best time to buy. And when everybody goes left, sometimes it's best to go right. So here's what we see. In a normal real estate market, not taking into consideration the fact that we are a predominantly second home, vacation home investment market, but anywhere USA, a lot of times what we see happen is the spring and the fall are the absolute busiest times, at least to get people out and about and they start looking at property. In the primary housing market, the old rule of thumb was if you were selling your property, you wanted to be on the market by Super Bowl weekend. That was the target, that everybody wanted to be on the market by Super Bowl weekend so they could take full advantage of the spring. And then it would kind of slow down a little bit in the summer and then pick back up in the second half of the summer when people wanted to make a purchase, get into a home prior to the school year starting. Right? That was kind of the normality or the normalness of a real estate market in anywhere USA. Here at the beach, our markets have also been predominantly with the greatest number of settlements taking place in the spring months and the fall months. And what would happen is we wouldn't necessarily target Super Bowl weekend. We would target boat show weekend. So now the way it kind of works is once we turn the calendar into 2025, the first weekend that kind of gets busy is the New Year weekend. There's lots of people in town. And then we have Martin Luther King weekend, which comes into January. And then it goes to boat show weekend in February. And then St. Patrick's Day. So there's all these kind of events that get more people to town. And when there's more people in town, there's typically more eyes on real estate. So we would have the normal run. People put their homes on the market in the spring. They sell through the spring. And then once summer comes, we see a few less transactions going to settlement, but lots of people in town. We'll have 300,000 people in Ocean City on any given day during the summer, which makes us the second largest town or second largest city in the entire state. But that runs through June, July, and August. So lots of people in town, lots of people looking at real estate, but maybe not quite as many settlements. And then once we get into August, September, October, those are the next busiest months through the fall season when people have a little bit more elbow room. They can kind of get out. They can take a look, right? That's your normal real estate market. Well, normal has been thrown out the window since probably going back to 2019 when we had the COVID influence come into play. COVID changed things where we really took a lot of the seasonality out of the market, and the business, the number of transactions just kind of continued on throughout the year. Fast forward to today, and when we started seeing interest rates start to tick up in June of 2022 through today, we've seen less transactions, and we've gone back to more of that seasonal market, more transactions in the spring, more transactions in the fall. Here we are today, the fall of 2024. 2024 is probably going to point to the lowest number of transactions going back to the late 80s, early 90s in this country. We're going to be under 4 million resale real estate transactions for the entire country. And when you factor in how much population growth has happened during that period of time, that does point to the fact that the real estate market, as far as number of sales go, is at our lowest level in quite possibly 30 years, right? So if you're looking to buy, one of the keys is being able to buy when there might be less competition from other buyers, right? So that's the year in total, looking at just under 4 million resale transactions. Now, when we look into the fact that we are into the fourth quarter of a very slow year as far as transactions go, and the fact that we have seen inventory rise locally here year over year, just over 30%. And if we look at the number of properties that are receiving a price reduction before it actually sells, that number is up over 30% as well. So now we've kind of got this interesting storm where there might be a little bit less buyers in the market today, and we've got some more inventory to choose from. And then I want you to think about the fact that we have an election coming up. In just, I think as of the recording of this, we have about 9 days to the election. That actually leaves some people with indecision. We don't 100% know what the outcome is going to be. 50% of the people are going to be happy. 50% of the people are not so sure as to what the future might hold. So, while there is more uncertainty in the air, that can point to a very good time to get into the market because there's people who are on the sidelines with that uncertainty. But as time goes on and we get through the election, which then points to certainty in the future, we will see more people enter the marketplace. There's also the anticipation that over the course of the next 12 to 18 months, we are going to continue to see interest rates drop down a little bit. Not significantly. We're not getting back to 4% or 3% interest rates, but going down just a tick. So that's going to lead to possibly more demand and more buyers that have been waiting on the sidelines enter the marketplace. So that's the future. What do we have now? We've got this window of opportunity where we are in the fourth quarter of a slow real estate year in 2024 with 30% more inventory and over 30% of the properties receiving a price reduction. I can tell you that while there's some indecision from a lot of people that have gone right, and this isn't to be political, left or right, I'm just saying when you're driving down the road, you have a decision, you can go left or you can go right. If everybody's going right now might be the time to go left with your real estate investment. As people always ask, when is the best time to get the best deal? Well, when there's less competition, you have more opportunities. And I encourage you that if you've seen a property that you like, now might be that opportunity to go ahead and take a stab at it while you're the only one that's making an offer, which then gives you the power to negotiate a little bit more. Because as time goes on, we're going to see more people enter the marketplace. You're going to have more competition, which is going to give you less options when it comes to negotiation. So that's just my take as to where we are in the market. I believe the smart money moves now. I'm seeing my investors calling me, my current clients who've purchased properties from me in the past. Those are the people that are calling me now because they realize that this is their opportunity to get back into the marketplace. We've seen a lot of people who've made a lot of money in the stock market. It might be time to take some of that stock market winnings and diversify to something that's more tangible. Just my sense on it and what I'm seeing here in the marketplace. We are currently sitting, if you're watching my market reports, in Worcester County, just under 4 months supply in total, which is up from about a year ago. We were like close to that 2 months supply range, now up to 4 months. If we look at Sussex County, same thing, up to about 4 months. Wycomico County is coming in just a tad less in that upper 2 months to 3 months range. But there's more opportunities. So if you'd like to discuss those opportunities, like to discuss my madness as to how I look at the market, I'd love to have a conversation with you. If you like this information, please share it with your friends, like and subscribe to this channel, and we will see you next time on another edition of the Running Real Estate Podcast.